Hey, Joe, thank you so much. Igbo Basic, you are next. Please make it, please, if you can just go straight to the question. I know I say this all the time, please. We want
Okay.
to get as many people as possible. Those are sending their questions on the chat. I will get to that. I will try to maybe pause getting people in, and then we can also get your questions to Sowore. In the meantime, I think Sowore is off the screen.
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
just
Okay.
I'm just
Good.
trying to drink water, drop cup.
All right. So Igbo Basic, you're next.
Yes, Omoyele, thank you for being here, and thank you, Dr. Damages, Rudolf Okonkwo, for giving us the opportunity to communicate with our brother here. Before you came online, Omoyele, I had made a mention that if being president just requires balls, sorry to come back to the issue of balls, that Fela Ransom Kuti would have been the president of Nigeria. And we all loved him, and he did his job. To line up my question today, I'm somebody who is very pictorial, and I'll try to present my questions in the form of pictures. I'm not sure, I may have met you since you sojourned in New York. I may have met you, but I have not had an opportunity to function with you one-on-one. Here I go. Here is what I call the passport of Malamilia. Some of you may have seen this, or some of you may have not. I call myself a senior citizen because I'm on a second missionary journey in the United States. Now, I've seen some of these things. As you can notice, the stage name is Igbo Basics, and I have encountered quite a few things just being Igbo Basics. But I'm sorry, I'm going to be who I am. Here is my next photograph. And you can see that. That was a publication we did some time ago. And then my final picture is this particular one. You can see the people who are in the picture. There's Atiku on the outside. There is Professor Patrick Tommy. There's Sergio Zakalo. There is Yaradua, who is being carried by Obasanjo. Then there is also Buhari in that picture. Having put all that in perspective, my comment to you first, and then my question, is that you are actually representing some of us, not by your choice. Let me put it that way. It's by your character that you are there. You've gone through the thick and brimstone. Every experience you've had in jail, beaten up, and all whatnot is a result of what God has prepared you to do in terms of your character. After all that said and done, we are at a crossroad where you understand what we call the OIC, Organization of Islamic Countries, which people like Ebituki were fought before. There has been this thing going around that if, by any chance, the man who has been referred to as an ancestor, who is, by the way, Jagabo or Tinubu, somebody referred him as already in the ancestral land, that if he by chance gets into office, that Nigeria will end up becoming an Islamic state. What can you do if in the event, as things are narrowing down, can you make an alliance? Because everybody in the race right now, including you, believe they can win the race. Anybody in the race is capable of winning the race. Somebody might trip along the way, and somebody else will come up. But my friend Peter Umadi in Abga also believes he can win the race. So I am saying that for you, if in the final days you see that you are not going to cross the finish line, what can you do to possibly align with a younger generation to achieve our goal I am not expecting somebody like me who is looking at 70 years old. I'm looking at 70. I'm not expecting that to happen. You are young. Can you join forces, not with the older ones who are in their 80s, with the younger ones to make Nigeria what we all want it to be, because we want to come back to Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Igbo Basic. Sure.
Well, I don't think there's anybody who can boast of a desire to return to Nigeria like myself. I will say something here that is probably only peculiar to our kind of thinking. You see, there's a lot of symbolism in how we describe Nigeria. Symbolism of passport, of religion, an agenda, political, cultural, religious agenda. And one thing I realized in Nigeria is that you can sit down in your house, dream up a conspiracy theory, and it will come to pass. That's how bad Nigeria is. Like, you can predict that Nigeria is going to merge with Togo and have a Togolese preside over Nigeria. And it will come to pass one of these days. It's how bad Nigeria is. But here is what I'll tell you. The alliance that needed to be made has already been made, as far as I'm concerned. Our own alliance is the alliance of the oppressed. But the oppressed, as usual, has not come to a place of consciousness. That is the problem. But what is consciousness? For the oppressed to understand that the political elite in Nigeria has a way of distracting their attention with all kinds of things. And that's why I pay attention to the likes of Obasanjo, because these guys are like a football team. They have left wingers, right wingers that will open up flanks, and then the attacker will come. All of them are working for the same political goal. The second aspect of it is this idea of youthfulness. I think, to be honest, it's esoteric as far as Nigeria is concerned. Why do I say it's esoteric? We just call people youths because we like the idea of youthfulness. But we have not debated or investigated if youthfulness is usefulness. The reason I say so is that the most irresponsible people in the APC government are younger governors. Kogi State is a very young governor. I think I'm older than him. Some of the most irresponsible House of Rep members are the younger ones. One of the most irresponsible senators in Nigeria's history was Dino Melaye. I'm older than him, I think. So being young is not a passport to a better life or better thinking or better ideas. That's why I said to ourselves, let's remove the sentiment. And to be honest, anybody that is asking a question about alliance in this meeting we are having is calling for me to merge with Peter Obi. I know the trick. You understand? That's the game all of you are playing. You just don't want to say it because it's not always sounding good. You don't want to be seen as saying what is on your mind. You're asking me to join Peter Obi. I cannot join Peter Obi. I can never join anything that Obasanjo has a hand in my life. If I die and you wake me up and you say that the only way you can live is to come and work with Obasanjo, I will never do it. I will never join hands with anything that Babangida is involved in. If Babangida is dating my mom, because my father died a long time ago, today, I will never call him a stepfather. I would rather call a goat my stepfather than I will call Babangida my stepfather. So let's just drop all these semantics about, can you join with a younger? Is Peter Obi young? He's 61 years old. He's not young. They're not asking me to join Adewale now.
You had Peter. You had Peter.
Wait. You're not asking me to join Peter Omiadi. I will say to you here today, Peter Omiadi is brighter than most of the presidential candidates in this race. I've been with him. I've listened to him. bright guy, solid guy. But nobody listened to him because he's not Peter Obi. If they put Peter Omiadi and Peter Obi together to debate, Peter Omiadi will defeat Peter Obi. You will regret the day you start supporting Peter Obi. He's sound upstairs. He was a judge. And he writes his judgment by himself. I've traveled with him several times to events, and I'm amazed at his, the way he organizes his thoughts and how he presents them. He's probably the only presidential candidate that I know that has his manifesto in a booklet. And anytime he's talking, he will present the ideas to the audience. But people don't judge him or rate him because he's older. Of course, they see him as one of the oldies. And secondly, because he's probably not popular. I've never heard of him before, to be honest. But in terms of brain power, I'm sorry to say, but I'm saying it publicly. If I were to follow anybody based on brain power, I would follow him before I follow Peter Obi.
Okay, so what I just heard from you is that Peter Obi is what it is. Let me just give me a soft landing, if you can allow me, please.
All of you are playing.
You went to
Rudolf. Rudolf, I go to Rudolf's house to eat until I fall asleep. There's no game abroad that we don't know. Although all of you that stays in New York, we know you guys too. There are older people in New York. They have a place where they drink beer. When Obasanjo was in power, they used to stop. We used to go there and fight them. They will support Obasanjo. Most of you guys in New York, the older people, you are PDP too. I can swear, with my soul. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, there's PDP grassroots in New York.
New York has the biggest PDP coalition, group in the US. Maybe they have it in Houston too, but PDP New York is very strong. They have drinking pubs. They will bring money from Nigeria. They will drink till money. You can ask Alex Kaba now. We know them. We know you people. So the game you are playing with me now is all semantics. You have your candidate. Come for your candidate. Say, oh, I want you to. I cannot align with Labour Party. Just don't waste your time. I can't align with Peter Obi. It's not. Right. You are wasting time here discussing it.
All right, thank you. Igbo Basic, thank you so much. I've muted you. We can't hear you because we have to go. There are so many people who are interested in.
And I also have people waiting for me outside here. By the way.
So how much time do you have? Let me know what to do.
It's already 10 p.m. and 10 p.m.
If I can take everybody that is present now with answer questions, I'll
okay.
If I have any more persons, I have to come back next week. But I'm glad to come back on your show anytime I'm available. And I have to be careful, all these PDP people on your show, so that they don't take out the time for campaigning from me, so that their own candidates will have time to campaign. I will be on your show. I don't want to do that. And that's a joke. Don't get too upset.
All right. Let me before one man. There's a question there are so many questions on the comments. So let me just ask one just in case people accuse me of